Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. So in this video we're going to be going through all of the top teams for the Nocturne Judicator Dream On boss. There are actually only 4 teams I have to show for you guys today, and we're beginning with hard difficulty, but I think everyone is going to be able to clear that today, and then we're going to be attacking in epic difficulty. So here we're going to begin with one of the most free-to-play friendly teams, Rhinus' team, using Fresto, Shakir, Kruger, Mikola, and Hugin. Basically all of the buffing we can possibly get to allow your Midnight Hunter to deal more damage with the Blade Ring spell. Real Fresto on Mikola and Illusion on the Kruger. Now as for the charms for today, ideally you have charms on Hugin, is pretty important if you're running any Hugin team, and also Shakir. Now, it's kind of controversial because some people are getting better results when they remove the charm set off of Shakir. However, that being said, there are also people getting top scores running the Shakir charm set. So it's just something to keep in mind and to try. We're going to be doing testing of our own as well. I have the charms currently on Shakir, and I'm going to do like at least 10 runs of the top comp and see what type of score we're getting, and then if it isn't working out really well, then we can also try removing the Shakir charms. But in all intents and purposes, you would think Shakir charms would just improve your score because it causes more defense shred onto the boss to increase your damage dealt and apply a debuff, which is pretty important for this Nocturne Judicator. So there we go, get the hard difficulty, but now we're going to go ahead and attack with it on epic. We don't have many teams to show, so I'll go ahead and watch the whole run over here and see what happens. But basically, team comps like this, the reason they're effective is Shakir is going to get a massive buff for your entire team because he is going to be buffing up as many allies as possible by buffing up the 2 Foresters as well. Also, the Foresters apply debuff like Vitality Reduction onto the boss, which the Vitality Reduction itself doesn't really make much of a difference, but you want to keep applying debuffs to this boss to increase your damage output. That is just a mechanic of the Nocturne Judicator boss. So looking at this, it doesn't look like there's really much survival issues. We have the charms on Shakir, which are going to boost your damage as long as your team is able to survive it. And yeah, so 28 seconds left, up to 100 billion damage. But even now, even in the epic difficulty, and I'm assuming even when we get to end this difficulty, wow, okay, there was a big burst of damage. We were luckily able to survive on all of our heroes. So that's pretty important. 5 seconds left. Okay. So, yeah, even in endless difficulty, I believe that it's all going to be about buffing up your Midnight Hunter as much as possible because your own heroes hardly contribute any damage in this fight. It is all about the Midnight Hunter. So there we go, 117 billion damage, top 11 ranking, running a no twins, basically free-to-play team option. So that one is pretty good. Now we're going to show you the next one, which is from Ashtaka. This one is going to be a bit better than the Fresto version. However, it is using Sinbad. So if you don't have Sinbad built, then you'll have to run the other one for a free-to-play option. Otherwise, this is a really good free-to-play option as well. And it doesn't use the twins either. It doesn't even use Fresto. Hugin in front of Sinbad and Shakir. Now for this team, Blade Ring spell, you're going to want to have the Sinbad charms, Hugin charms, and probably Shakir charms. Like generally, like I said, Shakir charms are going to boost your damage, but if it causes survival issues, that is the only reason where maybe taking them off is going to be better. But we're going to do the testing of the top teams as well with and without Shakir charms. But yeah, because basically how the Dream On bosses work in general is if you deal a lot of damage to them, they're going to ramp up and they're going to start hitting you harder, and that could just be the end of you. So that's why you kind of want to balance damage output, but also not like overkill, because that can cause the boss to ramp up too quickly. So we'll see what happens. So here we go, 35 seconds left, 92 billion damage. This team is going to be better than the team we just showed before this. I think we ended up with 117 billion damage on that team. So this should definitely be getting a new record. Sinbad is really good for this boss because Sinbad's debuffs are going to increase the damage output of your Midnight Hunter and your whole team, but like all the damage is basically coming from Midnight Hunter. And as you're noticing as well, I don't have any charms on Kruger, and Kruger charms are not that important for these comps. 127.7 billion damage. That is really good. That is a really good score. And this is also free-to-play team. But the top teams of today, Those are the ones. Let's take a look at my server. 141 billion. That is the only person. 146 billion, 145 billion. Those are going to be like basically the top teams. But even these teams are not bad. 127 billion is a very solid score. But let's move on now. We have Asparagus' and Daragon's team. Basically, this is going to be a No-Shakir, No-Sinbad team that does really well. This is going to get crazy scores because it has the twins and it doesn't have Shakir, it doesn't have Sinbad. So like, this is also a pretty good budget friendly option. Real Fresser in front of Mikola, Illusion in front of Kruger, Pink Twin right up vertical, and Blue Twin in the back, Hugin in between them on the Stellar Bond with the Blade Ring spell. This team is very impressive, considering that it doesn't have Shakir, it doesn't have Sinbad, and it's still getting top scores. Like, I think from this team, we should definitely be hitting over 130 billion damage, but I don't know by how much we're going to beat that, but this is a really good team. The twins, of course, are going to be the most important hero for this boss. We showed you the no twins teams already, but those are going to be lower performing compared to the twins teams because twins just provide that haste buff to your Midnight Hunter to increase his damage output, which is so important. And Blade Ring spell is the optimal artifact, even though the pay-to-win players this week have gotten that new artifact to buff up your frontline ally. It was a thought that potentially that could be good for Midnight Hunter in Nocturne Judicator, but Blade Ring is still far better than that. So Blade Ring is the one. That is amazing. Okay, so 33% of the boss is held, 38 seconds left. It's going well so far. The team needs to survive. As for the charms for this team, Twins charms, Hugin's charms. I have Mikola and Frester charms, but I guess Frester charms do make a difference because Frester has the same charm bonus as Shakir has, which is that defense shred. So I would think actually if you're running a team without Shakir, then Frester charms are probably pretty important. So Mikola goes down, which is unfortunate. At least the twins are alive. So I think it's still not terrible RNG or anything. almost 131 billion damage. Not a bad score. And I think it has potential to do better than this if you do multiple runs and get good RNG. Next up, we're going to show you Munter and Rose's team. This is one of the top performing teams of today, and people have reported it's pretty consistent for like a Supreme Plus to Paragon 1 level upgraded account. So Hugin in front of Sinbad, Blue Twin and Pink Twin, Shakir on the Stellar Bond, and Kruger in the back left corner with the Blade Ring spell. Now, as for the charms, as you can see, I basically have the charms on everyone here. I think Shakir charms should be fine for this team. You could even run the Kruger charms if you wanted to. We're going to go ahead and do a run of this and see what we can get. But in this team and the top team of today, there have been reports that by removing the Shakir charms, it somehow helps the score that you're able to get. And we're going to do testing of that with the overall top team. But for this team, from what I've seen so far, Shakir charms seem to be working fine and it's pretty consistent. Basically, you just want to make sure that your Midnight Hunter and your entire team survives for the whole fight. If that is happening, then probably it is better, technically, to have the Shakir charms equipped, because that is going to be more debuffs to increase your damage output onto the boss. However, it isn't kind of as simple as that, because when you deal more damage to the boss, his damage reduction is going to scale up faster, and then potentially you could lose out on damage later on in the fight. So it's just kind of like a really kind of confusing thing about Dream Realm in general and maximizing your score. But so far the whole team has survived, which is really good. 18 seconds left. We have a really good score right now. I think the potential of this team is up to 143 billion. That was the highest reported, but that was like with almost a maxed out account. So we're not even going to get close to that. But basically, this is a very consistent team. The team survived for most of the fight. Twins go down right at the end. And you can get around 134 billion damage with this team. And for some people, this is the top performer for them. So I definitely wanted to include it. So now we're going to move on to the overall top team. So Hugin, this is the overall top team from Genhard, best team to run. Blue Twin on the right, Pink Twin on the left, Shakir and Kruger on the Stellar Bond, Hugin in front of the Blue Twin, and Sinbad in the upper left corner with the Blade Ring spell. Now I have charms on all of the heroes other than Kruger. Kruger charms should not make a big difference for this because it just increases his damage slightly by a minor amount, and honestly, like you see here, all the damage is coming from the Midnight Hunter, and so like increasing Kruger's damage by a slight amount is probably going to make no difference on the score. What you just want to see is Is the team surviving? So I want to watch the whole run. If the team's surviving, fine. That's perfect. That's all I could ask for. And then that means probably Shakir charms are going to be better. Because Shakir charms, like we said, they're going to increase your damage output because they cause defense shred onto the boss. But I guess they come at the risk of maybe ramping up the boss too quickly and him just killing your team. So we'll have to see how good is the survival here. The boss is hitting pretty hard, but we're taking it so far. 41 seconds left. Ramping up the damage. The top scores from this team today have been 146 billion damage, like you have seen even in my district. So I'm hoping that we can get somewhere around there. Okay, we're taking the damage burst, but it is getting close. 20 seconds left, 120 billion damage. I mean, things are looking good as long as the team can continue to survive from here on out. The other thing that is a bit of the RNG is you want the Hugin to be shielding the Midnight Hunter. Oh, Midnight Hunter goes down. Midnight Hunter goes down right at the end, 135.4 billion damage. So that was not good, right? Overall, it was a new record and it was a good score. However, the Midnight Hunter dying at the end there, that's not what you want to see. Definitely not. Yeah, I really don't think Hugin's charms are going to make a difference here. Like, the whole team survived other than the Midnight Hunter who went down. Maybe we burst him too quickly. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do like, we'll do maybe 5 skip runs. And then I'm going to try without the Shakir charms. Is kind of controversial because without the Shakir charms, sometimes the teams are doing way worse for people. But for some people, without the Shakir charms, the teams are doing better. So it's just something that we're going to have to do some testing of. Okay, another 135 billion damage, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the 140 plus billion damage. It has been hit with the full Paragon 4 count. Like, we're lacking some Paragon 4. Oh, there we go. There we go. We got it. 141 billion damage. That shows you that it does seem like RNG. What we will do now is we will try just replacing the Shakir charm set, seeing if that will make any difference whatsoever. So we will just go ahead and replace this one for a blue, because that is going to break the quality bonus. And we'll do a couple of skip runs. And then there is actually another formation, which isn't doing like as good as this formation for most people. But I can show it and maybe do a couple of runs of it to see... potentially it could be better for some people. 138 billion. Okay, that's not bad. Got a really that is a good score on our first run. And if it is RNG reliant, then, or is it always going to be 138 billion damage? It could be that it's always going to be 138 billion damage, and then this isn't that good. But maybe removing the Shakir charms can help with the consistency, as you see here. However, with the Shakir charms, that is how we hit our all-time top score of the 141 billion damage. I think... Oh, wait a second. Wait, we got 142 billion damage without the Shakir charms. Okay, then. So then that is meaning... that potentially for some people without the Shakir charms, it is going to be better for you. We're still not close to the 145, 146 billion, but I believe they would probably even have like Sinbad and Kruger at Paragon 4. That might be the difference. Anyway, guys, I think, you know, I'm going to leave it at that. I think this is probably the top formation that you guys should be running, which is this 142 billion damage team. And then you can either run the Shakir charms, or you can not run the Shakir charms and see which one does better for you. Personally, for me, without the Shakir charms, it did end up doing better. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Those are going to be the top teams you can run of today to get your top score. If there's any other thing that worked for you, feel free to share in the comment section. That is much appreciated. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button. Also, feel free to join my AFK Journey Discord server. There's a link to that in the description of this video. And finally, if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. There will be a link to that in the description of this video and a pinned comment. This is the best way you can support me at no extra cost to you. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now.